Ehud, what do you make of this
Uh,
geopolitical fallout?
but First of all, I know it will not make me very popular in some circles in Israel, but I have to say I like President Macron, and I think that he is, and I don't think that he is an enemy of the state of Israel, and he has manifested it throughout this last year in many occasions. So I have enormous respect for him. Personally, I think that it was a mistake to suggest an embargo of weapons to the state of Israel at the time that 200 ballistic missiles are shot at us, 100 of rockets are shot at us from Lebanon by the Hezbollah. Hamas continues its war, and we need to somehow fight it through. What I
Yeah.
think, and I have suggested, and by the way, and I have to say, I don't like the rhetoric of Benjamin Netanyahu. It is well known. I'm not his supporter, to put it mildly. I think that he's arrogant, he's outrageous, and nothing to do with France or with the president of France. We want Netanyahu to go home as soon as possible, and the sooner the better for Israel.
Well, let me quote you, Ehud, on a recent interview you gave a month ago. You said this. You said, "What makes a great leader is the ability when the time comes to do the opposite of what you've ever promised to do. This needs to be done now," you say. You went on to say Netanyahu is not Churchill. He's not Roosevelt. He's not even Neville Chamberlain. Tell me what you mean by that. And what do you think Churchill would do now, faced with this situation?
Well, he would have done long ago. Churchill would have prevented the 7th of October. This is the greatest failure of Netanyahu, the greatest failure in the history of the state of Israel. And as some people say, your colleague Tom Friedman at the New York Times called him the worst leader in the history of Jewish people. He was the prime minister. He flirted with Hamas. He believed that if he can buy Hamas with money and physical assistance, and they will somehow acquiesce and they will not attack the state of Israel. This was a major, monumental mistake of judgment by the Prime Minister of Israel, and he can't forgive himself for doing it, so he's blaming the whole world. So this is Netanyahu. He pretends to be Churchill. He's not Churchill. Churchill would have prevented the October long before it would actually take place. And the same is Roosevelt. But Bibi Netanyahu, unfortunately, thinks that he is not just Churchill, that he is Churchill and Roosevelt. And I say that he's not even Chamberlain. Well, but what I think is very important, by the way, in this context that we talk, I think that the war in the north can conclude. There can be a compromise. And I presented it to the French government as well as to the American government, a plan that I have drafted with experts of intelligence and knowledgeable about the history of the region there that can bring an end to this and an agreement of some sort between us and the Lebanese government.
Yeah.
And the French government be very active in dealing with it.